I'd love to share with you today some really amazing tips that I know that can help you become wealthier. It's the tips that I found that are common to all the wealthy billionaires that I've had the opportunity to spend time with or interview. So I'd like to share with you those, and I hope you have a pencil and a paper, because if you do, you're going to get some great ideas here. The first thing is that when I go around the world and I ask people how many of you want to be financially independent, in 1,000 audiences, 10,000 audiences, people put their hands up. And they all just assume they want to be wealthy and they want to be financially independent. They all rally around the idea. And then I ask them, how many of you are? And many of those hands go down, most of them. And then I ask them, so what's the percentage of the people that become financially independent and very wealthy in life, of the whole population? And I hear 1, 2, 3, 5% out of the audiences. It's actually less than 1%.
Actually make financial independence. But 100% of the hands go up. So that means 99% of the people are living in a delusion. And if you ask them what are they going to do if I gave them $10 million, what would they do with their life? I guarantee you 2 to 8 million, I've done it thousands of times, 2 to 8 million of that will be spent in less than a minute. If you ask them what would they do if they had $10 million, they'd write down all the things. They'd buy that car, they'd buy that trip, they'd buy this. And it was all consumers, all depreciables, all devaluing. As long as they spend their money on depreciables and consumables, they really don't have a real desire for building wealth. They have to invest it and buy things that appreciate value if they want to be wealthy. And people who don't have those values aren't going to get there.
The majority of people don't become wealthy. They don't have financial wealth at least. They have wealth in other areas of life, but not financial wealth. And so there's a reason for that. Most people have a fantasy about being financially independent, but what they do is they have desires for immediate gratification and consumerism and buying things that appreciate value, and they never save and invest and build their fortunes. So I'd like to talk about how to raise true wealth building up on your value list, because the hierarchy of your values will dictate your financial destiny. The things you really value will determine what you act on when it comes to your money. You're always going to spend money according to what you value most. If you don't value really building financial independence and wealth, you'll probably end up spending your money on consumerism like the majority of the people. So I'd like to share with you what I call the 6 steps to wealth that can make a difference in your financial destiny. And it will raise wealth building higher on your value list than you've ever had it before. The first step, the first key to building wealth, is something that's so common sense that most people overlook it. And that is they have to have a desire to build a business, directly or indirectly, that serves vast numbers of people.
And so when people feel successful, they feel confident enough as a leader to want to go make a difference in people's lives, and they give themselves permission to do it. And so they care enough what the people need. So they look for problems in the world, and the bigger the problems, the bigger the opportunities in business. So tell me where the biggest problems are in the world and what people are struggling with and challenged by and missing. I always say that it's a mystery that needs to be solved, a problem that needs to be solved, a void that needs to be filled, a chaos that needs to be ordered, some solution needs to be brought in there. But a person who really cares about humanity finds the solutions, finds the answers, finds how to bring the needs to people, etc. When they do, business is going to boom because they care enough about people.
You won't find any billionaire out there that hasn't built a business to serve vast numbers of people. You won't find it. You go to the head of Microsoft and Bill Gates, or you go to Richard Branson, or you go to Larry Ellison, or you go to Warren Buffett, or you go to any of the names that are billionaires. They've all built a business that serves vast numbers of people, great numbers of people. So if you don't have a desire to have a work ethic, you don't have a desire to directly or indirectly serve people, you may be having a fantasy that you're going to be financially independent somehow. But you have to directly or indirectly care about human beings. If you don't have a desire to serve, and I always say that when you can't wait to get up in the morning and be of service to people, people can't wait to get your service. If you don't have a desire to go out there and make a difference in the world and serve people and get up and do something amazing that can make a difference in their lives and serve some need, where's the money going to come from? Oh, you might go off and gamble on some investments to try to do it. But my objective is to help you realize that if you go and serve people, you deserve vast rewards. And the greater the numbers of service, the greater the numbers of rewards. And I find that when I ask people how many of you from Microsoft Windows, they all put their hands up. How many of you have heard of Warren Buffett? They built a brand. So the first thing is to write 200 benefits down of how building a business that serves vast numbers of people will serve your life. Because when you have a big enough reason for doing it, you will. When the why is big enough, the house take care of themselves. But you have to have a reason for going out and building wealth. So write the reasons down. And don't write down, oh, if I build that business, then I can buy that jet, I can travel those things, I can do this trip, I can spend my money, I can buy those clothes. That's consumerism. You want the benefits of actually going in there and directly or indirectly building a business that serves people. If your heart's not into that, it's not going to happen. You have to have a real reason for doing that. And that doesn't have to be directly. You might hire somebody that does part of that, but you need to have your heart and soul into serving people. That's important. So 200 benefits of serving vast numbers of people, directly or indirectly. And don't stop until you do it. And you'll probably stop at about 30 and go, I don't know what to write. That's probably because you don't have a big enough reason for doing it. But when you have big reasons to do things, you get big jobs done.